So intro and why I'm here. So my name's Jordan O'Connor, and obviously we already went through some of this stuff. But I have an agency called Email for Brands, and we just do email marketing for e-commerce brands, mainly 7 and 8-figure brands. Used to be 6-figure, but we're trying to remove them because the more money our clients make, the more money we make. So done a lot of different stuff in the past. To be honest, I'm not going to cover that. If you are curious, ask and I can go through it. But we had like an influencer agency where we built e-commerce brands for influencers. We've done that for dozens of other influencers. Done a bunch of drop shipping, a bunch of other things in the e-commerce space, but found that email worked best for me. And then I just decided to double down and go into that. But it took me like 5 years to get to that point. So another reason why I'm here, because I'm very close friends with Mr. Vogel. So I done this at Adam's event last week. So James might be getting nervous now, but we've met up quite a lot, and we do meet up like every quarter. We've been in this penthouse before as well, and have some whiskeys, have some cigars, and have some good times. So obviously that's why I'm here. James has also coached me to some degree as well, just helped me out my business and stuff like that. This is us in Dublin last weekend, sharing our first Guinness together, and we also have clients together as well. And one of our clients loves James so much that he even got a photo of James. So one of our clients, John, who we actually seen earlier, wore this t-shirt in some of his content because he loves James so much. So quite funny, but that's why I'm here. And today I'm going to be talking everything email marketing. And the goal for today is to make you more money and save more time with email marketing. Okay. So why should you listen to me? Right? You shouldn't, right? I just throw in a little gif here, right? No, I'm joking. So I know a thing or two when it comes to email. So I've been doing email marketing since 2017, since I launched a brand. So like in regards to email marketing or the internet, it's like quite a long time. We've generated over 8 figures in email revenue. So it's hard to track this because some clients come and go, but probably over 20 million in e-commerce revenue. That's came from email, and we've sent over 100 million emails. So quite a lot, so we know a thing or two when it comes to email and what works and what doesn't. And also I've done email for previous businesses and our agency now, and how we can basically bring leads from someone that comes into the pipeline to then get them to convert, right? So what I'm going to cover today, why you need to be leveraging email marketing basics. And to be totally honest, like I want to just cover the basics, because if you can get the basics done, that's the most important thing. There's no point talking about strategy, tactics, different things you can do if you don't understand how to do the basics, and if you're not doing them. I then want to understand everyone's business. So what email marketing are people doing? What is their list size? Stuff like that. So I can then help everyone out here. Email implementation, so how you can actually implement it. Strategy deep dive, Q&A, and then at the end, I have an agency dashboard that I'll share with everyone so you can pull in all your numbers, right? So question, to be honest, this is just like trying to get interaction, but so I want everyone to interact. Who here wants to make more money and save more time with email marketing? Me. Whoop, whoop, let's go, yeah? Okay, amazing, right. So why you need to be leveraging email marketing. So you're here at the perfect time. Here's why. So according to HubSpot, which done 1.3 billion in revenue, for every $1 spent, there was like a $36 in return for email marketing, right? So Adam is a great media buyer, but he's not getting a 36x in any spend, right? So email is one of the best channels when it comes to ROI, because most of the time you're just paying for the software, which is going to be a couple of $100 a month, and then you can get, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands in return, right? So just some like email marketing stats. Adam said there's 3.2 billion daily users on Facebook. Well, email's got 4 billion, right? 37% of brands are increasing their email budget. So basically like putting more time there, more resources there, paying agencies. 77% of marketers have seen an increase in email engagement over the last 12 months. Smartphone users prefer to receive brands communication via email, which is basically everyone these days. And 50% of people buy from marketing emails at least twice per month, or at least once per month, sorry. And this is the growth of email, which a lot of people think email is dead, that email is going in the wrong direction, that people use social nowadays and stuff like that. But it's the complete opposite. So we're here right now in regards to worldwide revenue in billions, I think this is 12.3 billion. And you can see by 2027, it's going to be 17.9 billion, right? So you want to make sure that you put your eggs in the email basket, because it's going to keep growing and going to make a lot more money. So here's what this means for you. more people are consuming email than ever, more people are buying from email than ever, and right now it's the best investment you can make for your business, right? It's like this stairway to heaven. Honestly, it's like if you can leverage email and put it in place, you can make a shit ton of money, right? But obviously you have to get the traffic, you have to have certain things in place, which I'm gonna cover today. So let me prove it to you. So here's how much money is in your list, and this is to just break the belief that there's no money in email marketing, okay? So, and we do this with some clients where if you take your average list size, so it's different because we're working with brands, and obviously if you haven't invested time to build a list, this isn't gonna work, but for most businesses, they do have some sort of list. So if you multiply your list by the average salary of your avatar, because Adam's mentioned it today, so let's say if you have like 10,000 people, on average people make like 50K a year. If you multiply that, it's something crazy like 5 billion or something, right? And you have access to that money. So you've unlimited access to money. So generally what you should be making from email then is list size multiplied by your average salary of who you're trying to sell to, divide that by 100, multiply it by 0.5, right? And I've done this with a friend recently. They have 19,000 people on their list. Their average client makes about 30K, and then they're making 300K from email, and this was accurate, okay? So this is like minimum, but you should be making way more. Done it with someone else as well. They only had 550 people on their list, but their average client, this is B2B, is making, or their average, how much they make is 375K, so they should be making a minimum of 100K from email just from 550 people. So a year, yeah. But this is minimum. It can go up to 1, so like it's kind of like double that metric. But it all depends on the business and stuff like that. But like there's a lot of money to be made, and you need to make sure you're leveraging it. Otherwise you are going to be missing out quite a lot. So that's why you need to be leveraging email, just kind of covering the basics on the opportunity there. And then the email marketing basics. So to be honest, I'm just trying to keep this really simple. Like I said, I don't want to go into like too much strategy here, just to make sure that everyone can do it. So like, and when I'm talking about email here, it's more like on the retention side and not email outreach. This is obviously once you collect the lead, then to market to it on a regular basis. So like people overcomplicate it. Oh, I don't want to do email because of XYZ. They don't understand it. They don't understand the softwares. But to be honest, all you have to do is just create an email and send it. Like it's so simple. And so many people think they can't do it because it's complicated. It's so simple. Everyone is doing it wrong. So most people just aren't doing enough volume. Like most people will do an email or a newsletter like once a week or once every now and again, or like one every like month or something. But you need to be doing like an email nearly every day. Like if you have a list, you want to be hitting the list because it's like there's so much money. You have access to so much money from that list. So you just want to hit it, and just like pull all the money out of it, right? Obviously there's different things. You don't want to always sell, but and this is the next point, like email is relationships, so make people feel good. Like an example is, let's say if we were to walk down like the street down here every day and someone was down at the bottom of the road and they were trying to like, let's say like sell you flowers or something, right? Like someone comes up to you, and if every day they're just like pushing you to buy this flower, you're not going to bloody buy it, right? But if every day you walk past and they're complimenting you, saying like, good morning, you look amazing today, or good morning, like, I love your shoes, or I love this, I love that, like you've such an amazing smile. Like if you make people feel good, they then want to like buy something from you or give you money, right? So you want to build a relationship with people, and this can be done in many different ways, and I'm going to go deeper on it today. And then give more value than you ask. So if you're sending emails, and some people think that you can't give value, but you can, no matter what business you're in. For services and coaching, it's so easy, but like obviously for us, we deal with a lot of e-commerce people, and they're like, you can't give value for like if you're a jewelry brand or if you have some other brand, but there's always ways that you can give value. And you want to just like give energy to people and just make them feel good by opening your emails and reading your emails, okay? And I'm going to go deeper into this today as well. So email breakdown and metrics, once again, so simple, but these are the most like important stuff. So you have email opt-in is obviously how you collect it. At the start, like compliance isn't that big of a deal, but as you grow, it is really important, especially in Europe, GDPR. Like if you're selling to Germany, you have to have double opt-in. If not, they can sue you, and like you can get fined for a bunch of money. Automations and flows. So obviously once you get it, you can then have different triggers for automations and flows. Does everyone know what flows are in automations? Yeah, right, pretty simple stuff. Then obviously you got campaigns. Campaigns are different because it's something that you're sending out on a weekly or monthly basis that you manually have to do. Then you have different segments, right? Does everyone know what all of these are? Yeah? Okay, great, right. And then different metrics that you can track then are opt-in, list growth, unsubscribe, deliverability, open rate, click rate, and then your conversion rate. So this can be a purchase, this can be a register for an event, a webinar, or it can be a book call, right? Like I said, super simple, but I want to start very high level and then dive into it. So does everyone understand all those metrics? Okay, great. Now let's dive deeper. So email opt-in and list growth. So there's kind of two ways to grow your list. You can either have a lead magnet, which is in exchange for something. So for this example, this was an offer that we ran in the past and we were giving away like a high overview to something. Obviously people give you a lead and then you can try and upsell them later or have different follow-up, right? So if I go back here and open up this, oh damn. So if I open up this, it will pull in some different examples. So, like checklists, and I can send this out to everyone, checklists, cheat sheets, ebooks or guides, email courses, so like a free course, free videos, reports. Like basically it all depends on like what your like consultations, quizzes, calculators, like it really depends on your business model. But you basically just want to have something in exchange for the email, right? For most of the time, like for us, for e-commerce brands, we don't really do this. We generally just push conversions and like get people on via like an offer on the pop-up. But obviously if you're have a coaching business or you're in services or an agency, it's important to have something where you can give away for free in exchange for an email, so then you can follow up with a bunch of people, right? Or you can have it like as a low ticket offer. If you're a really good media buyer, you can then have it as a low ticket offer, okay? So that is your lead magnet. And then obviously then the other way to build emails, and in my opinion, the best way to build emails is just by pushing traffic, right? So if you guys are pushing traffic to your page, do you have any sort of pop-up or anything now?
To collect emails?
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, so like what works best with e-commerce brands is doing this. So like having a pop-up trying to give away something for free and just asking the question. So similar to what Adam said earlier, like if you can get like, it's similar to a hook, right? So we have this pop-up and it's like, hey, would you like a free mystery gift? And by asking this question first, like they don't even know we're gonna ask for their email yet. And if they click no, they just go off, all right, perfect. If they click yes, then we go to the next step, which is like, perfect, enter your email below to claim your free gift. And then you wanna send them to their email then where they can get the details and they can get the conditions of it. So perfect, so you get this free gift, here it is. You only get it when you spend over X amount and it's only available for the next like 24 hours and then use this code to get it. But you can do this for like anything, same as like a book call, anything. It's like, you can have different pop-ups like enter your email in here, go, and then it's like, here's the conditions. So like say this thing or use this booking link and then you get this extra bonus, you get this extra service, whatever it is. And it does great because if you can build a big email list, like it's a big asset, right? So I don't know if I want to do like a round table, but I guess I'll just do like some questions here. Does anyone have any questions around like lead magnet, opt-in, how to get emails, any of that stuff? No? Okay, perfect. I'll keep going then.
Sorry, like, how about scraping something?
Yeah, like generally for email marketing, you're not allowed to do it. Like it's completely against the rules and regulations to like scrape something and put it into a list because they haven't actually subscribed.
You never do it?
No, never. Because we're just sending emails for people that already have an email list. So if you came to us to like, let's say you had an e-commerce brand, like and you didn't have a list at all, we wouldn't be able to work with you because we only do it for people that already have lists. And obviously in e-commerce, people have big lists and like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. But with agency, if you have like when we were doing Ecom and Chill, we only had like 2,000 people or 3,000 people on our email list, but it made us so much money because like they're worth more money, right? And that comes down to like that calculation that I made earlier. So it really all depends on your business model. Like James, how many people do you have on your list?
8 times on my personal.
Or even your business?
Well, we don't really do it.
Yeah.
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 So it's only a WhatsApp, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a small list. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Something we need to build.
yeah, 100%.
So in the case of like the tutoring business,
Mm-hmm.
what would you suggest to implement something for them?
having something to collect it. Make sure you have auto collection at checkout as well, or when they book a call, and make sure that you have the consent there that they're being added to a list, and then absolutely hammer emails to them, like with different ways like flows, automations, which I'll get into. But the most important thing is to collect it. Honestly, at the start, you don't really have to do it ethically if you don't want to. I do obviously recommend it, but like as you grow, obviously it's more important, but most people aren't going to complain. They can just unsubscribe, you know. But so obviously you get different opt-ins then at purchase. So if people purchase, you're going to get an opt-in, a pop-up opt-in, or like an abandoned checkout opt-in, or a book call opt-in. You can even get it where like you do a book call abandonment. So if people get there, they put in their email, but they don't schedule a time. You can then ping that then to like send different flows and stuff like that, right? You can also do like giveaways and stuff like that, but to be honest, they don't really work. It's never worth it. So then just a couple of notes on that. Push traffic for conversions to build your list. So like I just said, like competitions and giveaways get terrible results, where in theory you think this is the best idea ever, right? Like let's run a traffic campaign and let's get a bunch of people to come and give away like a free year of tutoring to like your whole bloody family, right? And then people come and you get like 5,000 people to sign up, and you're like, oh, if we send these people an email a day over the next 90 days, people are gonna convert. But they're not, because they have no interest in your thing. They just signed up to get something for free, right? Or to try and like join this competition or whatever it is. So like it doesn't work. If you're trying to, like say, if you're trying to give like away something that's getting them closer to their goal, it works. But like competition and giveaways don't really work. Always test pop-ups and lead magnets. So if you're giving away a calculator, if you're giving away a free PDF, if you're giving away some sort of any lead magnet at all, just test it, because you can like double or triple your opt-in by having something different, right? Like for us, like this is the biggest lever we can pull to get the best results in email marketing, is just like testing your opt-in. Because if you're pushing, like let's say you guys are spending 10K a month on ads and you're pushing like, you know, 30,000 people to a page. Well, if you don't have a pop-up there straight away, you're like missing out on like your email list growth. But then if you have one there and it's like so simple and basic, if you can then A/B test it in regards to the form or how you collect it, or like the actual lead magnet, you can like double or triple your list growth. And then if you do that calculation, then you're like, oh damn, if we've doubled the leads, then we could have like double the revenue on the back end, right? So it's probably the most important thing is to test that. Give away all the value, hold nothing back. I think people are obviously afraid. They think that their business or their thing is the best thing ever and that they can't get it anywhere else. But just honestly give it all away. Like if your lead magnet is going to be the best thing in the world, then it's going to be like a direct reflection of what your product or service is going to be. So like people are afraid of like, oh, I'm not giving that away because I charge like X amount of that, but it's just an ego thing. Like honestly, just give everything away, and then people are going to be like, holy shit, if this is their free thing, like what's their paid thing going to be, right? So give it all away. And then always deliver via email and never on your site. So if you do have a pop-up, make sure that you send them to their email to claim that thing or get the lead magnet. Otherwise, you're going to have people putting in fake email addresses. You're going to have deliverability issues and stuff like that. And you're going to have a much quicker like speed to open rate, which is an important metric that most people don't even know. So that's email opt-in, like super simple. I'll dive in deeper to some more of this stuff later on. Automations and flows. So I've put this in here, like, because we mainly do e-commerce, like to break it down, you kind of have your pre-purchase or your pre-conversion flows. So these would be like a welcome series. And obviously the way automations work is you have a trigger, right? So every automation, every flow has a trigger. And this is based on where someone is at in their customer journey, or based on a certain action that people take. So you have like, and most people probably know these, right? You have your welcome series, browse abandonment, abandoned checkout, or this can be like an abandoned book call, like a product education series, a like lead magnet or like free consultation flow, engagement flow, product recommendation, call booked indoctrination, no-show flow, proposal sent. So like all of this stuff, like when we ran an Ecom and Chill, like proposal sent flow absolutely crushed it for us, and like got so much good feedback, where as soon as we'd send a proposal on PandaDoc, it would also trigger to send an email automation that would just send a bunch of like case studies and a bunch of like social proof and like so many different things that like just we needed to have in place to drive the customer over the line. And we also put a deadline on it. So like every proposal we sent had a deadline of like 72 hours, and we like pushed hard. Like on like the last day, we'd send like 5 emails to say that the proposal's ending. And we'd have people like text me on WhatsApp or ring me, be like, oh, Jordan, I'm waiting for my lawyer. Can we just like hold off for another day or this, that, or the other? And like people really buy into the whole like urgency and scarcity thing. So, and you can set this up where it's automated, and every time you don't have to worry about it, you know, rather than like manually following up with bloody everyone. Anyone that comes into your pipeline, they're just like getting these emails, and you can have them like built really, really good. Same as like no-show flows. Like we used to have a no-show flow that's like, hey, we noticed you didn't show up. Not the end of the world. I'm training for a marathon at the minute, and I actually had to get out for a quick half an hour run, so you saved me like a half an hour in time. Anyways, check my calendar here, and you can hop back in and get booked into another call. Then we'd have like loads of follow-ups and loads of different follow-ups there. Then you can have different triggers where if people don't show, you can like ping it in other areas, so you can like send it to a VA or send it to someone else in the team to like manually reach out, right? So there's honestly so many different ways, and we can kind of jam at the end, and I can dive in deeper to everyone's business and how you can do it, because obviously there's a kind of a broad spectrum here. And then you have post-purchase flows or like post-conversion flows. So obviously you'll have like an order confirmation. If it's like e-commerce, you have something physical, shipping confirmation, tracking or onboarding flows. Like here's the steps you need to take. Thank you flow, post-purchase upsell. So depending on your business, like for example, if you're trying to get people to do, if you sell people on the setting, but they don't take the offer for the coaching, be like, hey, by the way, for the next 24 hours, we noticed you didn't take this. Just to let you know, over 76% of our customers take us up on the coaching because of X, Y, and Z. Like you can get it at this price for the next 24 hours. If you have like 3 or 4 different follow-up emails there, you could like convert like an extra 10 or 20% of people just from like an email series that you built out. It's the same for you guys. Like you can like, hey, we noticed you only got signed up on a monthly thing. Just to let you know, over 80% of people buy the quarterly package because of X, Y, and Z, you know, and then you can like upsell people and like make it seem that it's like that they got the wrong offer. And we phrase it as like, before we process your order, like, was this a mistake? And it crushes it like. So that's post-purchase upsell, product review and feedback requests. So we do like button feedback, you can do type form feedback, just to honestly get feedback so you are delivering a good product or service. Cross-sell, so obviously just trying to sell them other stuff, similar to upsell, it's just more in a longer time frame. Retention flow, so just making sure that, like for example, it really depends on your business model, but just making sure that people are using your product or service. Post-purchase education flow, so for example, if someone was to purchase a product or a service, to like educate them on how they can best use it, in regards to, like, let's say for you guys, people might have to like learn how to use the platform or how to do different things. And if people don't understand it, they're never going to stay. If they clearly understand how to use your product, then they're going to stay way, way longer. Same as supplements. Like our biggest thing is setting like supplement reminders for people to consume the supplements, because otherwise they're going to churn. They're not going to buy again if they have like 3 tubs sitting there. But if we're like, hey, have a tub in your car, have a tub beside your bed, and have a tub beside your coffee machine, then people are going to consume it regularly or more regularly. And then you can have like a tub in your gym bag as well. So trying to get people to actually like use the product and educate them on it. Next is like loyalty flow. So just pushing more loyalty if people come back, or if it's their 3rd month to stay or their 6th month to stay, being like, hey, give them something else, or like give them some sort of cash back or something like that. Subscription flows, so obviously like subscription welcome, subscription cancelled, and like your subscription's coming up like a recurring bill. So sometimes it's best to be upfront about that. You guys have an issue about billing, it seems like, with different billing dates. And maybe we should shoot an email, hey, just to let you know, your billing's going to come out in 48 hours. Yes, this might scare away people, but it's better than dealing with all the bloody back-end issues, especially if you're like processing thousands of payments. It could basically mean that your customer support inbox could like be flooded with like hundreds of requests every single month on the 1st. That's costing you guys like an extra $3,000 every month to like deal with the volume coming through. If you just be upfront about it, it might be 10 rather than 1,000 or 100, you know. So, and then you have win back flow, so just trying to get people to come back and buy again. And we can go deeper onto this later on, but this is kind of automations from a high level. The minimum stuff that I recommend is like having your core 5 flows set up. So just go through your customer journey and be like, what should you have in place? And most of the time it's some sort of like, depending on your sales process, but have some sort of like welcome or indoctrination on your business or product or service. And then you want to have different flows for like where people drop off in the funnel. So if it's like book call or no show, or like for e-commerce, it's more like abandoned checkout and stuff like that. And then have your post-purchase flows, which is like thank you, onboard, and all that sort of stuff. So you don't have to have like 20 or 30 flows. For some clients we do, and for like some of our businesses we do, but you just want to like, if you have the core ones, it's like the 80-20 principle. You're going to make most of your money from the core ones. Have all your flows, like, to be honest, I said 3+ emails here. It should be like 10+, to be honest, but just like when you have a flow set up, don't just have 1 or 2 emails in there. Like we often hop into audit like 7 and 8 figure brands, and like their welcome flow will be like 1 email, right? Which is just like ridiculous. You need to have multiple emails in there. A/B test your most delivered emails. So let's say if that is like your lead magnet flow, and like you have like email 1 of like your lead magnet email, that's probably getting like so much volume. So you want to like test, okay, what if we add a call booking CTA at the end, or what if we change around the opening, or what if we have this being sent from someone else? If you like, you want to A/B test these emails the most, because they're going to have like a way bigger ROI compared to like A/B testing like the 10th email in some random flow. And we do this. This is another thing that like we see is the biggest thing with like big brands when we audit accounts, is they're not doing any A/B testing. And then always deliver your lead magnet. I said that already, and never on your site. And then add a new flow like every month, or like 5 emails a week. Like the thing is with flows, and like for Ecom and Chill, our old business, we had, me and Adam were talking about this last night, like we had 3 years worth of email automations built out, where if someone came into our business, and this was like based on actions as well. This wasn't like a single flow that was just like, oh, they just like receive all these emails. This was based off of like engagement, where they're at in the pipeline. They'd get, you know, moved around to different sections, and they'd literally receive like three years worth of emails without us doing anything. Obviously we had to build them, but in theory, if you started today and if you just stayed 1 day ahead, then you never have to do any more emails. Like people just come through, right? Because you're always 1 day ahead. So that's one thing I recommend, but just also making sure that if you are going to do this yourself, like just be in a consistent workflow of like creating a couple of emails a week, or like 1 flow a month, and you don't have a big overwhelm of having to like hop in and do a big flow build. Like we charge like 5 to 10K now to do that for brands, where if people just like done a couple of emails every week or every month, they'd be able to do it themselves, right? And save a bunch of money. So that's automations and flows. And then check your metrics every month to make sure nothing's broken. Like this happens so much as well. I'm pretty sure this happened to Adam, where like people just send a bunch of stuff, or they build a bunch of stuff, and then they see like revenue coming in, but they're not actually checking their metrics. They're not checking like their open rates, their click rates, their deliverability rates. And then they're like, they hop in, then they realize, oh shit, nothing's been working over the last like 3 months or 2 months. And then they realize like they've lost out on a bunch of money. So just make sure that you're checking your metrics. It's like ads. Like the thing is with email, people don't take it as serious because they're not spending like 10, 20, 30, 100 grand a month. Like if your email software was costing you 10K a month, I guarantee you're going to be checking the metrics, but people don't. So it's really important to check your metrics and obviously fix different things. If anyone has different issues like deliverability, we can talk about that as well. And then campaigns. So I'll touch on this first and I'll go back to the doc. So send a minimum of 12 campaigns a month. This depends on your business. Honestly, if you're like service, coaching, like for our clients, we're sending normally like 20+ campaigns on top of flows. So most customers are receiving like an email a day. Come Q4, we'll be doing like crazy volume. Like on actual Black Friday, we'll be sending like 10 emails on Black Friday. Like we could do, everyone could receive like 50 emails a month. So you want to like push heavy. But obviously it depends on your business and stuff like that. But definitely like 12 minimum, no matter what business you are. It doesn't matter if you're a dentist, if you create content, like you want to be pumping out some volume. And then you can do like a mix of educational emails, so educating people on your product, service, or your offering, and then you can share stories, so like success stories or stories about, you know, transformations and different things. Then you can have like a weekly series, so you guys could have like tutoring Tuesdays, right? You could have like school Saturdays or school Sundays, you educate people on different things. Like you want to just have like different weekly series, and you can switch these out. Like for some clients, we'll do it for a quarter and then we'll switch it out. And these are kind of just a mix of like education, but also trying to like push social proof and then trying to get people to buy as well at the same time. It's like these crush it, and we do these the whole time. We've done them for all the other businesses that we've kind of managed. And then obviously you want emails that are like pushing conversions or pushing sales. So inside of Adam's business, he does a bunch of price raises. So like then you want to have just direct emails that are just like towards that sale or towards that offer that like, hey, this thing's ending or this thing is happening right now. And when you have a mix, it makes it so easy then to basically come up with different angles. Like we always say it, that you could send an email a day for a year and never send the same email twice. So there's like so many different ways. Some people just get caught up in this like single bubble of like, oh, I can do like a before and after, I can push a sale, and I can do like product education or something. And like people like stick to like 3 to 5 campaigns, but there's so many ideas, and you can leverage AI to help you as well. A mix of text and design emails. So for like e-commerce, this is bigger, but still, if you're like selling a product or a service, you still want to like do plain text emails, but also have like graphics in there, have GIFs in there, have like email elements like buttons, headers, different things like that, just to spice it up and just to see what works best for your audience. So have like probably a 50-50 split for a while and see what works best. Different sender names, this is huge. So like I said, email is relationships. So instead of sending just from like for example, for us, if we were just sending from email for brands, so like people are in our pipeline, we'd also send like Jordan at email for brands, and then like our assistant's called Beverly, so then it'd be like Beverly and Jordan, and then you can send more volume because people think that it's coming from different people, even though it's like the one kind of business. So we do this for e-commerce brands as well, where some for like bigger clients, we could have like 5 different people, and like let's say you're sending from like a woman's name, right? And the woman can be, let's just say it's like Sarah, and they can be like super friendly, super helpful, super motivating. And then you can have someone else, let's say it's Adam, and Adam's this like strict person that's like, he's just straight to the point, like, hey, this is going on, this, that, or the other. Then you can have someone else that's like always pushing the offers or education and stuff like that. So, and like for you guys, you could do both of your names, you could tie in someone else, and it's like, you can send way more volume because like people just think it's coming from different people. And then like people always say, oh, what about unsubscribes? Like if people are going to unsubscribe, they're probably never going to buy anyways. Plus you can unsubscribe you can customize your unsubscribe pages. So when people do go to unsubscribe, we like to throw in like a funny GIF or something like that, being like, hey, sorry for sending too many emails, like follow us on socials, or like here's this gift, or here's this like discount or something like that. So you can get creative with it. And then, like I said, just get creative and try different stuff. So me and Adam were chatting about that last night as well. Like, just try different funny shit. Like, honestly, like it's your platform. Like, do whatever you want. Just like try different things and just tie your personality into it. Because there's generally no limit on what you can do. Like Facebook or social, you're not going to get banned. Like you own your email list and you're going to have it forever. It's such a valuable asset. So you can do whatever you want. So like, don't be afraid to push the boundaries a little bit. And then to go back then to like different campaign ideas, and I can go deeper on this with different people based on where they're at. So I actually have it here. So you can see here, like for coaching, and honestly, I'm just going to share this doc with everyone instead of like walking through all of this stuff. But there's stuff there for coaching, there's stuff there for agency, and there's stuff there for e-commerce. To be totally honest, I literally just pulled this from AI just because like I wasn't going to spend hours myself listening to all this stuff, but I can go through like a bunch of other ideas for everyone's business, like individually if you want. And then like some of the segments that I was talking about earlier, here's some segments that you can create as well. So like you want to send to engage segments. Well, I'm probably going to dive deeper into this. Actually, I'll wait on that. So campaigns, and then segments, which I was just going to talk about. So don't send to your full email list. So most people send to their full email list, but this actually has like negative results. Talk to people differently based on where they're at in the customer journey. So different messaging, different CTAs. Like Adam said earlier, it's the same for like a lot of these things are just like marketing and like human psychology and just like the basic stuff, where if you're doing it for like even like different structures that Adam's using, like the attention, interest, desire, action, like that can work as well with like different copy. But you want to just make sure that if someone's purchased, or like if they're like already in your tutoring thing for 3 months, you want to talk to them differently if to someone that's never even joined before, right? But most people just like put them all into one list and send them a bunch of campaigns, and it doesn't work. So you want to make sure that you're talking to people differently, different messaging, calling out different things, different pain points, and different CTAs. Exclude negative people and people that don't need to get that email. So like for e-commerce, we will exclude people that have refunded, people that have charged back, people that have left negative reviews. We'll get the customer support team to basically tag them, because you want to make sure that you don't keep emailing someone. If someone has a chargeback and you keep emailing them, like if you get like that one Karen, they can just like pull your whole business down. They'll go to like the nth degree just to like get one up on you. So just make sure that you have those people excluded. And like that, the last thing you want to do, if you like, especially in the bloody service space, like we were working with clients before, and like they paid a bunch of money to get started, and then all of a sudden like some emails were coming through where we're trying to like sell them on like a product that they've already bought into. So just make sure that you're excluding people. And then always remove bounced contacts. So same again, we hop into big accounts, we'll notice this where people will be sending to like hundreds of thousands of people and like tens of thousands will be bouncing. So just make sure you're going in every month, every week and just removing the bounced people, because a lot of people will put in fake emails or they'll just type in their email wrong. And then send to engaged audiences like 80% of the time, right? So then just some different segments that you can send to. So different engaged segments. So like, and honestly, if your list isn't that big, you can just have one or two of these. Like you can have like a 30 days engaged and a 180 days engaged. And engaged is just someone that has clicked or opened an email in the last X amount of days, right? You can have non-buyers, buyers all time, repeat buyers, first-time buyers, and people that have like purchased in the last 90 days but not came back. VIP, so people that have like spent X amount or purchased X amount of times. Booked call, never booked a call, no show. Then you can have like different non-buyer segments, different exclusions, so purchased, refunded, bounced, negative reviews, unengaged. So you want to like play around with these different segments and then add them in and send to different people, and then also monitor the results. Is this stuff providing value? Is everyone understanding this? Is it going over people's head? Is it helping? People take, yeah? Okay, right, great. Okay, great. So next, I want to understand everyone's business. So I'll do like a round table here. So just quickly, what's your business model? I have an idea for this already, but still write it down. What niche are you in? What's your email list size? What email marketing are you currently doing? And what percentage of your revenue is coming from email? Just, on average. So, Adam?
I actually don't have an email list.
Okay, great. Okay. I feel like everyone's going to be like that. Yeah. Okay. Ivan?
We have one scraped email list. We did it the Bulgarian way. And I think it's about 3,000 or 4,000 people.
Nice. Good.
Business model, video production, selling corporate video content. We don't really have a niche because we just service everybody. Usually company sizes over 50 to 100 employees.
Nice.
And we just started running email like 2 months ago, and we had 20 calls in 1 month for email.
Cold email or like email to a list?
Cold email.
Okay, yeah. So a little bit different, but.
Yeah, and we
Do you have any automation set up?
We don't have any automation set up. This is kind of just opening my eyes to what we could be doing for automation.
Like sometimes your goal isn't even just to make more money, it's just to save you more time. Like if you have your onboarding, there's probably the same shit you do all the time. Even if you have a SOP and system out, it's like you still might have to copy and paste that email or whatever. And you can just automate that whole thing where it's streamlined, where like day 1 you have to do this, day 2 you have to do this. Here's all these other case studies. Here's good examples of different content that we need, or here's different ways where like we need you to speak in the video or whatever it is, right? And you're just trying to like just make the onboarding process way more simple, or like for different follow-ups or no-shows or calls booked, indoctrinations. There's so many different ways you can have it. You never have to worry about it again. You set it up once, yes, keep an eye on it, but it's just going to run in the background,
Yeah, we don't have anything like that set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely something I want to get.
Sweet. Next. Owen?
I started doing email about 30 days ago.
Nice.
And I've done an email a day almost every day.
Fair play.
I have 200 people on the list from Instagram. And I've made a few sales. I don't actually know what percentage of revenue, because some of the people on the list are also not my demographic, but the open rates are like 48% on average.
Good. Sweet.
So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely recommend tracking it. I mean, Adam spoke about this last night in the plane as well. Like, definitely track your metrics so you know like how much is coming from email, like how many calls are booked, how many people went to the site, how many people purchased, and stuff like that. So it is really important, because otherwise you're just kind of guessing. Then you want to figure out, okay, what emails are doing the best? Is it coming from flows? Is it coming from campaigns? Is it coming from the educational stuff? Is it coming from the sales stuff? Is it coming from the weekly stuff? And if you don't know, you're kind of just like, oh, it's kind of all working, but you want to figure out, okay, what is working? Like, you're tracking your ad metrics, like what's getting the best hook, what's getting the best CTR, and you want to make sure that you know what the results are. Like, imagine if you didn't track where the revenue is coming from. You'd just be, you know, shooting blanks. So it's just pointless, right? So just make sure that you are tracking, so then you can get feedback, make iterations, and then go again. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're doing it, so fair play. What about you guys?
I mean, Tom primarily handles the sales and marketing, so he's the best person to answer this, to be honest. Yeah, so business model, a tutoring agency.
And is that for people who are in college or in school?
School, like 4 or 5 to 18.
Sweet.
Email list size, we only collect, we should have like a pop-up because we get a shit ton of people, but the only way that we collect currently is just like leads who come through, who give us their details, current clients, etc.
Yeah, that's still good though.
Our size is about 2,000. Email marketing, it's not something we do heavily, but we have workflows for people who are being worked in the pipeline. We have ones for people who go cold before the consultation, and ones for people who go cold after the consultation but they didn't close.
Nice, good stuff.
We have a few operational ones as well, but not many. But I think we've got 3 main like sales ones. But in all fairness, it's definitely not something that we optimize.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, like when people do put in their details now and they get a lead, do they get any other emails?
Yeah, so they get like automated WhatsApp and emails, like that's handled by the sales team to book them in for a call, and they get added to the nurture workflow.
Yeah,
which
good.
runs as they're being moved to a call, hopefully.
Sweet. And are they text emails, like design based? Are they educational, sales? What are they?
Off the top of my head, I think it's a email sequence. There's value, a few case studies, and
Sweet.
one at the end is like hammering them to book a call.
Yeah, nice. Sweet. And then another thing is important is like for people that go to the end, we'd put them into like another sequence to just like, because a lot of people just have like a welcome series and they'll just drop off and they won't email them again. So you want to have something else. So if they drop off from there, put them into like some sort of like evergreen flow where it's just like full of case studies or full of value. It'll just stay in there for like months on end and whatever. And then they're just constantly getting emails, so you're top of mind. Then it was like, oh shit, the parent gets the next grade. And it's like a D. They're like, oh damn, like you need to, you know, take this more seriously. And it's like, oh, actually, these guys have been emailing me. Let's get signed up with them. Compared to like then they might go to Google, they might Google it then. You guys aren't top of mind because they've done that like 3 months ago, and then you just go with whoever's top of Google, right? If you're there, amazing, but it costs a lot to get number 1 on search terms, right? So
We definitely need the subscription one as well.
yeah. And some people don't want to do it because it's like they're afraid, but it's better than dealing with a headache on the back end. And then you can have like cancelled flow win back. So like, plus I just throw in an offer if people are trying to cancel with a bigger discount, but then like if people do win back, you want to just like hit them hard with like how good people got different results and stuff like that. And if they cancel for different reasons, have different flows. So if they cancel because they got amazing results, okay, perfect. Well, put them into like a referral thing and how they can make money by giving referrals. If they canceled because they thought your service was bad, then you want to like do more feedback stuff, like feedback emails, give them some sort of incentive to like give you more in-depth feedback or even hop on a call to get feedback. And then also you can have something else that's like actually just trying to win them back, you know what I mean? So you can have like different flows for different triggers and different avatars and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's definitely lots that we are not doing, for sure.
Yeah, and you can do it all in Go High Level. Personally, I don't use Go High Level, but you can do it all in there.
Which software do you use?
Active Campaign. For like agency stuff or coaching, is probably Active Campaign is the best. For e-commerce then Klaviyo, but Active Campaign is really good. But if you have everything in Go High Level, it makes sense to have it in Go High Level. But I do believe it does have some limiting features, but it is modeling Active Campaign, so it will get there in time, and it's, you know, it'll still do the same thing.
What do you think it lacks?
I've not really used it, so I'm not too sure. Yeah. I don't know if it has like the scoring and stuff like that. I'll chat about that later, but the scoring system's really good inside of Active Campaign, where based on people's engagement, it has the different scores, and you can like filter them differently. But yeah, Adam.
Cool. B2C, mainly helping beginners start agencies, so it's like course and coaching hybrid. Niche, that's that. Email list size about 20k. We do a daily email, we do flows of course as well, and then probably say 20-30% is realistic. Yeah.
Sweet. Amazing. And so what was your name again?
It's Georgi.
Okay. And what is your, do you want to answer those questions?
We have a tech marketplace connecting technical talent, mainly developers, but all types of supporting roles with tech companies. The business model is pay per hire, so basically they don't companies, and it's B2B, like companies are the ones who are paying, and we charge one salary per hire, which in the case of the technical talent is about 5 to 10,000, like I say on average 5,000 euro per hire.
Nice, great.
Recently, like 1 year ago, we started a newsletter actually called The Secret Newsletter.
Great.
And this site is like a reverse job board with profiles of people, front-end developers, back-end, AI, machine learning, so on and so forth, like project managers, and there are also teams. And this started driving about initially 10% of the revenue, 20, like literally I'm focused completely on it.
Yeah, it's powerful, right?
Because otherwise I'm posting non-stop LinkedIn, Facebook, like some Facebook groups, communities, and with this, with almost zero effort from my side.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of automating myself with this one.
And what size is the list?
About 2,000 representatives of companies, a lot of HRs and a lot of C-level people. Actually, C-level people we found that they are much more likely to, much better client than the HRs. Because they know exactly what they're looking for. When the HRs are told, look for that kind of developer, but they don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
So about 1,000 companies and 2,000 people.
Nice.
And on the other side, we have about a base of about 15,000 software engineers and product managers, like different types of technical.
Nice. And you're only doing a newsletter? Do you have any other automations or anything in place?
We don't run, like we send it once a month.
Yeah.
Because during this time, new people sign up, and we say, okay, like these are the new teams, these are the new talents. But like we also ask the people whether they're still actively looking, so constantly updated. So
Yeah, great. Yeah, and you can ask that in emails as well. You can have that at the bottom of every email being like, hey, are you still looking for like at this position, yes or no? Like we do that a bunch, like feedback emails, we do like one a week probably with most clients where we're asking for like feedback or getting their opinion on different things. And like we do like different offers and stuff like that. Like
there's another important thing I believe for the best offers, because the other email goes through my colleague's email. But like for the best offers that we have, let's say a really good team for machine learning engineers, I'll use my personal email and say like I've taught our clients that whenever I send an email, it's really
important, yeah.
Yeah, it's with a really good deal inside.
Yeah,
it's
great.
A rare one. And I recently started doing this much more often. Because initially I was thinking like people would opt out and like to unsubscribe, but actually they don't.
No, a lot of people don't. Like most people are getting like 100 plus
now, every
emails.
day an email, I'm like, what the fuck? Like initially I thought every week an email was what the fuck. And in the past 2 months we're sending almost every week, and nothing happens.
Yeah,
So
unsubscribe
maybe,
rates stay same, yeah.
If it's relevant, maybe once, like when you're saying once a day, and like it doesn't, this go to spam, like doesn't.
Nah, like as long as you're sending to engaged audiences, and if you do have bad deliverability, also open rates are inflated now with Apple's new privacy. So like if you see 50%, it's probably like 30. So you've got to be careful with that. So like there's no more like 20 or 30% open rates. You've got to have it much higher now. But like if you are getting deliverability issues or like spam complaints, you just have to dive into what inbox provider is that coming from. Is it coming from Gmail? Is it coming from Outlook? Is it coming from like Microsoft or whatever the other ones are? Like you want to figure out, okay, what inbox provider is it coming from? Let's say it's Outlook. Then you want to dive into the Outlook people. You want to segment them. Then you just want to send to like 7 days engaged or like 4 days engaged or something like that. And then if you like people are opening, get people to reply as well, reply back. If you build up that conversation or that like repetition again with the email provider, then you'll basically like your open rates will start to get bigger and bigger. And then you can basically send to like broader audiences again and again. Like we've had to do this with so many brands. We hop in and like we send the first campaign, gets like 10% and we're like, oh no. And then we like, sometimes it can take months to get to get like the full list to like a good open rate, but it's done. It just takes like, it's easily done. It just takes some time. Okay, sweet. So next is email implementation, and this is super simple. James, how are we on time? All good?
Yeah, all good, man. Number 15.
Okay, sweet. So email implementation, honestly, so simple. Like I've already covered this, but 2 softwares, Klaviyo, ActiveCampaign, and like different things that you need. Content, if you want to add in different content like copy, you don't even need content, to be honest. You can just have copy. Brand guidelines or understand your customer. Same again with your avatar. Like it's impossible to write an email if you don't know who you're bloody sending it to. So make sure that you're clear on that. And this is the same stuff. Like you can have the same avatar breakdown document that you're using for ads, that you're using for email, that you're using for cold outreach. Like you want to just have this, and it's, you know, it's a trend here that's came up with every single person that has spoke. It's the same as organic. So I think if you don't have that, it's like super important to do that, to make sure that you understand them, how they talk, their different messaging. Like if we're targeting older people, maybe you want to have the text size bigger. If you're targeting younger people, maybe you want to have like more emojis, and maybe probably like straight to the point, shorter emails, because people's attention span these days is absolutely fucked, right? So you want to make sure that you have it like, you have it suitable for your audience. Examples of emails, so like there's different email softwares that you can leverage, but to be honest, just go onto your competitors, create a new Gmail account, and just like get on the list of all your competitors, like see what everyone's doing, and then like tag them, mark good emails, get your VA to like pull them into different places, and then you can like rewrite them or use the same angle for your business, and then you just got someone to do the work, right? So most people in here have everything. You're just a few clicks away from an extra 20 to 60% of your revenue, right? Like obviously if people don't have a list, you have a bit more of a journey, but like if you're not leveraging email, like there is massive potential to make a bunch more money with and save a bunch more time. So if you don't have someone to do the work, you can learn yourself or get someone from your team to do it. For example, like Adam still does all his email himself, adds it into ActiveCampaign, sends it. Like it's really simple to do if you know your avatar and you know who you're sending to, and you're interested in copywriting and like direct response stuff. You can also hire a freelancer on Upwork or Fiverr, and honestly there's so many people out there that are really good at writing copy. So hop in. If you have that avatar sheet, you can give that to them, break them the offers, and you can get them to write the emails for like $5-10 an email. Really easy, to be honest. You can work with an agency. So obviously like we're an agency, but obviously if you don't have an email list, you're going to be paying a lot for that. So it's probably not the best. Or you can get AI to do it for you. So you can use a mix of like 2 of these things, where you can get someone from Upwork to leverage AI, or you can get a VA to leverage AI, or you can leverage AI. Like it is really, really good. I don't recommend just using it, but if you just want to it's better to have AI copy going out rather than having nothing go out, right? Or I have here, you can work with me, right? And I just threw in this GIF again. But to be honest, we only work with e-com brands. So here's the simple process. Plan out different ideas for flows and campaigns. So every month, just plan out like, okay, what are we gonna do? Put in like, you can just use AI for this, like put in the ChatGPT, like, here's my business. We need to send 12 campaigns this month. Here's our avatar, like we're thinking these different angles, these pain points, and it will just spit you out a bunch of ideas, and then plan them out based on, what's going on that month. If you have a sale, you're pushing a different product, a different service, a new offer, you want to like obviously plan out what you're sending. Write out all the copy in a doc. So I recommend just bulk writing different copy. So like if our copywriters are doing copy, they'll do it for like a week or for a month for different clients. So just like write it all out. To be totally honest, like I could smash out like a month's worth of emails and like in a day. Like you could write like 30 emails in a day if you really wanted. Like Adam, how long does it take you to write?
Probably like 10-15 minutes, but I've kept every email in the document, so I've got about 900 emails. So if I ever have a day where I'm like, I don't want to spend my 15 minutes, I just go to my doc and pull one from last year or something. So.
And if you do an email a day for a year, then you could, in theory, just then do the very same thing next year and just automate every single campaign into a flow. That's what we done with Ecom and Chill, like, and that's how we got to like 3 years worth of emails. But like everything just ran in the background. And anytime we hopped on a call, like, why'd you book the call? Everyone was like, because you guys do not stop sending emails, right? Like it works. So write out stuff in a doc. Literally just use a Google Doc, subject line, preview text, have it all in there. Then you want to add the copy into your email software. Everyone here knows how to use a bloody email software. Create a campaign, add it in, super simple. Add a subject line, preview text. And like this is similar to like your hook and stuff like that. So you can make it look really official, or you can like add emojis. Like you just want to test it. And obviously your subject line wants to call it out, and your preview text wants to like sell them on opening it. I can go deeper into this if you want, but you know, just kind of get creative with it. Send yourself a test email. Honestly, there's nothing worse than sending out an email and there being a mistake, or like there's something wrong in there, or the wrong link. So just like always send yourself a test. It's even worse when you're sending, like you send an error to like 200,000 people and then your client calls you out on it and they're like, was this a test? And it fucking wasn't. And then you just gotta like deal with it. And you can leverage that as a marketing angle and just like do a reply email and like do something funny. But then if it looks good, schedule your campaign. Like the goal of today is just to like make you guys realize that email is so bloody simple. Like you don't need much time. It doesn't cost really any money, like $50 a month. As your list grows, it's gonna get more expensive. Like you can leverage AI, takes 10, 15 minutes to add it in. Like it is super, super simple. So it is really important to do it. So do you think you'd be able to do that or hire someone to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. If you run into any problems, Google will have your answer. Right, pretty simple. So strategy and deep dive, honestly, like if you want, I can go into this, but quickly, like it's more advanced. So like people here that aren't doing email marketing, there's literally no point in covering this because like it just doesn't make sense. But a click and a deadline sequence, we leverage this a bunch, which is basically a click sequence is basically your goal is get people to click on an email. And this would be like a series of like 10 emails. A deadline sequence is then anyone that has clicked any of those emails, you then put them into a deadline sequence over like 3 or 4 days, and you push like 2 or 3 emails a day for like 3 or 4 days. And then you're only pushing obviously to the people that have clicked, that have obviously showed an interest, and then you do like a deadline. But you can automate this process where you have this run in like every single week, and then you have like deadline offer pages and stuff like that. Like we sold this as a product, like as a digital product before. So let me just pull up Figma here. Okay, I don't know why that's not showing up. Okay, here we go. So damn. Right. So like more advanced, but basically like the attention sequence, you'd push like multiple emails to an offer page. Anyone that clicks, then you basically push like a deadline over 3 days. Like on day 3, there's like 6 emails or more here. And then you do a timer, and then like on Sunday midnight, you actually expire that page to say that the page that this has like expired. And like with Go High Level, ClickFunnels, you can like set this up automatically where this just runs every single week. Anyone that's clicked any email that hasn't purchased or booked a call in the last like week, they'll get added to this deadline. This deadline will run, and then you can like not put them in it again for like 30 days or whatever. But this absolutely crushes it. And we have like a template here for literally like every single email and stuff like that. So it works really, really good. And then you can, like I said, you can automate the whole thing. So this just constantly runs. You never have to do anything. And you have click and deadline sequences going on forever. It absolutely crushes it. So hidden list secrets. So this works really good for like coaches and stuff like that. So this is basically you send an email and you get people to reply, and then you can do 2 things. You can like sell people the offer in replying, or you can introduce someone to someone else. So let's say, for example, James, we talked about this before, but let's say you had a creator send an email to their email list being like, hey, I've just had incredible results with like this person, reply and I'll like connect you and I'll send you more details. They reply, they CC and you to the conversation, and you take up the email conversation and you pitch them. But like no one has ever been sold this way. So when it happens, like normally in emails, if you get CC'd in, it's only normally to like something important or whatever. So this strategy crushes it. And you can do this on like a smaller level, and it's like a good way to like cross-sell people different services or different offers. It's really, really good. And I can go deeper on that as well. Scoring systems, this is just an active campaign. I don't know if you can do it in Go High Level, where basically every time someone opens an email, they get a score. Every time someone clicks an email, they get a score. Every time they book a call, they get a score. And then basically you can build your own like gamification scoring system. And then you can have like like scores basically get taken away after X amount of days or something like that. You can hop in there and you can filter by your most like scored people. Then you can like you know, treat them differently, or you can get someone to reach out to them or like send them something, whatever it is. The lifetime flow, this is what I've already mentioned. So if you do like a year's worth of campaigns, you can just put them all into an automation. Then you can like have stuff basically be scheduled and automated. Teamed email sales, so like during like Black Friday or during like different times, if you're like busy, you can team out sales by like having a different header or having a different style or like different copy style. And like we've found that this just works way better rather than having your same structure. If you team out emails for like a week or a month, it will generally get better results. And then integrations and app workflows. So for example, if people hit a certain point and let's say they come to the end of the no-show flow and they haven't booked a call, well, you can ping a message into Slack, you can ping a message into WhatsApp, you can ping a message somewhere else. So there's like reminders, or you can ping them to somewhere else in the customer journey. So it's just about leveraging email and leveraging the software so you can automate different things rather than just have it like sending out emails. You can connect it with basically any app out there with Zapier, right? Pretty simple stuff. So definitely recommend that. Also for like internal updates, alerts, different things, you can do it. So like we used to do, if someone has a score of like above 30 and they've like, they haven't booked a call and they have over X amount of followers, then ping a message to our VA to then reach out to them or comment on all their stuff on Instagram, right? When we used to do the influencer stuff. So, and then tagging and diving deeper into the data. So there's a thing called RFM. If you have like a big list, which is recency, frequency, and monetary, which is basically just diving into all the data, but obviously just tagging different people based on actions, and then diving into like data from like a monthly, yearly level, and just diving into like a bunch of metrics so you can improve, right? And then Q&A. So hopefully that provided some value. I feel like it is very simple stuff that I covered, but obviously a lot of people in here aren't leveraging email, so I don't want to cover all the crazy stuff. But yeah, any questions, work away.
So first step for me, if I'm currently at 200 on my list, obviously not a very big list, and
Yeah.
they all come from just organic Instagram, is there a first kind of target or milestone that, like, should I be aiming for 1,000 subscribers? Is there...
Yeah, great question. I don't think there's a number, because we have clients that have millions of emails and we have other clients that have less. So I think the number one thing is just to make sure that you have email collection in your sales process. So, oh yeah, perfect, what's your email? I'll send over the details. Rather than trying to sell people in DMs, yes, that works, but also why not get their email as well? Or doing some sort of lead magnet. So I think email collections is step number one. And then it's like, okay, what can I automate in my sales process in regards to emails? And then it's kind of like, okay, now let's focus on like weekly campaigns or whatever it is. And then it's like, you just iterate and doing feedback and stuff like that. But there's no number, because like your email list could be, if your average AOV or LTV is like 20K per client, like you can do the numbers or whatever it is. It's like everyone's value for their like list is different, you know. But just make sure you're building it in an ethical way and like a good way, rather than doing like giveaways and different stuff like that, you know.
Sure. What would be the fastest way to build that ethically?
Push a bunch of traffic to your site and have a pop-up, or give away a killer lead magnet and spend money on it, like on ads and stuff, or organically.
Collecting in the DM process.
Yeah, people are actually signing up most of the time. I have the link in my bio, and I put it on my story twice a week. And people are signing up there, but I've noticed that the first 3 weeks I got lots of sign-ups, and the last week there's been almost none. So it kind of feels like everyone who's currently in the audience.
Probably a lack of new traffic.
Yeah. So.
Or you can do like early access, like any new offer, like and any of that stuff. But yeah, you just got to figure out what works best for you and how you can plug it into your sales process.
Yeah, I found with DMs it's quite good to put it in before, probably halfway through the conversation. So when you've done, say, let's say a little bit of qualifying, but you haven't sent no VSL or no pricing or no book or call yet, like Jordan said, collect the email, get them on the list. Then you can still just send everything over DM.
And so when you say collect the email and get them on the list, where's the opt-in in that part?
So that they've just given sent by like sending it over to you. So like that's fine.
That counts as an opt-in?
Yeah, like we also used to do for our old Free Comment Chill, like we used to be like, hey, if you're interested, reply back, we'll send you more information. And that was our consent to then add them to our list.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but
I
instead
thought
of
you
just...
had to actually have a
No,
click the button.
if you're at massive scale, yes, you probably should. But if you're getting people to send over your thing, you can just manually add them yourself. because like they are giving you consent to some degree. You know what I mean? So it's like not an issue at all.
Like, are they going to report that as spam or unsubscribe? Maybe. But like, they've literally said, "Here's my email. Send me the info."
Yeah,
So-
and people give up their email like nothing. Like there's no friction to it. Like an SMS, it's way harder to get SMS. Like it's so much harder. But email is like people throw it around. Like it's no problem at all.
And that's what I get. I get phone numbers off them most of the time.
Yeah.
For WhatsApp.
And you can do that, but like well, for us SMS is expensive if it's not like WhatsApp or nothing. But we've never done like WhatsApp automations or nothing. Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Vogel?
The browser abandonment. How do you get that?
It's a trigger, so it's a piece of code that you put into your site, and then you can have it trigger if people look at different products or look at different pages. So it depends on your software mightn't have it, but you should be able to set up a trigger. It's just a piece of code that tracks if someone comes back. There's also external softwares that you can get. There's one called Velar, I believe. There's some other ones that basically track different people because of Apple privacies now. After 24 hours, people's profile basically is meant to disappear, but this basically holds it somewhere else ethically. So then it knows if someone comes back after a year, okay, this is Joanna over here that was here a year ago, and here's all her profile details. Oh, she's viewing again. Let's trigger this flow again. So
But it's only from your current list, right?
yeah. Yeah, it's only from your current list.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it does really good. Like sometimes that can do better than like in a brand and checkout for some brands. Like yeah, it kills it.
Is there a certain time that you found is like best to ping out emails?
Depends on the business model and the brand and stuff like that. Like for if you're trying to like sell like services and stuff like that, it's generally the morning because people are checking their emails. But like for people buying stuff, it's generally in the evening. So it all just depends, you know. But you could test it 100 times and you're gonna get different results as well. It all depends. Like then there's different times of the months. There's different times of like there's different audiences. There's just it ranges. So just test really. But
Are you selecting times yourself, or is there some form of like AI automation that's
there's both. You can do both. You can have like send times based on like their open rates in the past. But with the new Apple privacy policies, I don't know how accurate that is anymore, but it used to be really good. But yeah, as long as you're sending the emails, it's the most important. It doesn't really matter what time. As long as it's not ridiculous, like have it set to their local time zone. But be careful because sometimes that can get it wrong as well, and some people can like constantly be getting emails thinking that they're on a different time zone. So
That's a good point, because in my active campaign, I have so many people that I know are Irish in Ireland, and like the time zone is like Dubai. Maybe
Yeah.
they're on holidays when they join the list, but they're in Dubai, so
yeah.
obviously I wouldn't want to be emailing them on that time.
yeah, if you send like middle of the day or like in the evening Irish time, it's generally one of the best times as long as you have people from Australia. Like most people will open it, kind of. But yeah, any other questions?
What do you do about batches? Or do you not send in batches? Do you just send, like if you're sending a campaign, will it be scheduled to the whole segment that's receiving the campaign in one go? Or do you do certain batch sizes?
No, yeah, send it to everyone. Yeah, everyone that's in that segment. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't
Yeah.
do like batches every X minutes?
No, you can do that for bigger accounts. You can do that where you'll do an A/B test first, and then after 15 minutes, it monitors the results and it will pick the winner and send it. But like, it's never really got good results. So yeah, just send to everyone. Like your engaged audiences.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Can you show us again the two tools that you showed us that you're using?
So it like personally, I recommend Active Campaign, which is there. Klaviyo is for e-commerce, but Active Campaign is the best, in my opinion, is the best email software. If you have like an agency or coaching or anything at all, really, it is getting more expensive. They've just raised their prices, but I think every software has raised their prices in the last 12 months. But you can leverage a bunch of other ones, yeah.
And the other one, Klaviyo?
This is for e-commerce, so if you, Okay, any other questions? I'll show this dashboard really quickly.
I can go through after that, go through like old Calendly entry forms, Stripe old clients, put them all into a list, and would you just
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you can connect Calendly to like Active Campaign. So as soon as if people don't have this, it's the first thing I'd do anyway. like just link all your softwares to ActiveCampaign. So anywhere, if you get a lead, if someone books a call, if someone comes through on like socials or a chatbot, whatever it is, you want to all pump them back to your main like email platform, and then just like keep emailing everyone.
Do you link it with Zapier for that? Or do you
Sometimes it's direct, other times you have to use Zapier, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, most of the time now they're getting pretty good at connecting it, like it's a direct integration. So I have a full video on this, to be honest, James. Like I know we're pretty tight for time here, but basically I'll just send this to everyone. This is basically a dashboard that pulls in all of your metrics. Like this is absolute gangster shit that took me so long to build. It pulls in sales, client tracking, client revenue overview, financial tracking, team overview, email outreach overview, hiring, referrals. So like if we went to like, and these are random numbers by the way, if we went to financial tracking, you can see like cash collected, cash in bank, expenses, profit margins, runway, and then it pulls in like dashboards for everything. If I change something, it changes all of the metrics. And like team tracking, so you can track like team, quality of work, team pay, and you track it on like a monthly basis. You give your team a score, bad, okay, or great. This then pulls an average of how that person performs on a monthly basis, and then it pulls an average of how they perform on like a yearly basis. Then you know if you have like an A-star team or not, and I like a bunch of other stuff. So there's a bunch of other things in here. You can track your KPIs for your clients. You can track like retention, churn, cash collected, everything. This is like all built out and everything tracks back. All you got to do is just track this like fill in some of these details on a monthly basis, and it'll pump back in here. But I'll send this to everyone. I'll give it to James. There's a Loom video here if you want to go through it. And yeah, everyone gets this for free as well. Sweet. Anything else, gents? Did someone learn at least one thing? Yeah? Everyone got action items? Yeah? Good. Right, sweet. Pleasure. Thank you.